the Ann Widdecombe that I worked with wouldn't necessarily have wanted to nationalise the steel industry. And it's interesting, just then you talked about, benefit cuts and with a sort of spin on being against them, or at least that maybe I'm going too far there, but that seemed to be the implication of the point you were making. Do you not worry that Reform will have to occupy Labour territory as much as Labour will occupy Reform?
I do sincerely hope not, but I think that one of the great strengths of Reform is that we're not tied by an agenda from history of saying, well, Conservatives always say this and Labour always says that. You don't say Reform always says anything, because Reform is a new movement. And therefore, I think we have much more scope for the policies that we decide. Now, you mentioned nationalisation. I'm not in favour of nationalisation, never have been. Nigel knows that. But we had an emergency, and I did say, and I do believe, the government did the right thing in the emergency that there was. But I would never advocate nationalisation as a general policy. Never.
Would you like to team up with Robert Jenrick now that he said he'd like to bring together the coalition of the Tories and Reform?
Absolutely not. I'm not teaming up with any losers. Reform is winning. Reform is at the top of the polls. We're fielding the most candidates in the local elections. We are winning. Why on earth we would want to join up with a bunch of people who squandered an 80-seat majority into an opposition landslide? I don't know. I certainly don't want to.
Well, of course, it may be that one of the reasons they did that was because you decided not to cooperate with them. But that's a whole nother question.